All right.
We got to include all this in the show because it's kind of funny.
All of it?
No, we've never done that before.
Yeah. Just
That's
my
true.
address.
Just his address.
History Defeats Itself is a comedy podcast. Kevin, John, and Greg are not experts, historians, or even all that smart.
Welcome to History Defeats Itself, a comedy podcast that looks at events or people from the past and wonders, why do we never learn from our history? Only one of us knows the topic, and the other two are in the dark, learning as we go, right along with you. My name is Kevin, and I am joined by my co-hosts, John and Greg, as well as a very special guest. Greg, would you like to introduce the special guest today?
Yes, the special guest is my secret guest, and his name is Darren. He's my brother.
Hi, Darren.
Hi, Darren.
Hi, guys. Love you guys.
Love you too.
That's
friends.
inappropriate. You got to ask for consent before you can say I love you.
Yeah, we're big on consent on this show.
I know you.
We're very big in consent.
I listen so often. I feel like I know you.
So coming out of the gate, I just want to say, Darren, you're a little too insecure, and Greg, you don't listen. So.
I guess it's true.
Yeah.
That's a callback to what our mother told us about our personality quirks. She actually, you know what? She wasn't really, she phrased it in such a way that she wasn't making fun of us or ridiculing us. She blamed herself. She said I did a terrible job parenting. And then she complained about the temperature, the weather, and she put on a shawl.
She's 80.
She is.
Well, Greg's not 80 that I know of, and he complains about the temperature all the time.
He does. That
I
is.
don't complain about it. I just discuss it.
Yeah.
You just acknowledge it.
Yeah. I got a sweet spot where I don't talk about, John knows this. I think from mid-70s to mid-80s, I probably won't say that much about the temperature.
Well, if it's humid, it needs to be, the humidity needs to be around about 22%. It needs to be between 77 and 79 degrees, and it can't be too sunny and not too cloudy.
I think it's
like
77 to
true.
79 degrees.
Right? So 78.
So basically, we don't have a lot to work with here.
It's a good thing you live here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you live in the right spot, I suppose.
Jen keeps looking over my shoulder to try and sneak a peek at the topic.
I don't really care that much. Just
Okay, that's
Join
right
the club,
attitude.
Aaron. Join the club.
Yeah.
Follow us on Instagram, and we do have a TikTok, although I haven't posted on there in a long time. TikTok's probably going to get banned anyway, so who gives a shit, right?
Our Twitter got deleted, by the way.
By us.
Oh, I didn't do it. Did you do it?
I did
Was
it,
you
yeah.
on?
Remember we had a whole text conversation about it.
I don't listen to you when you text.
Are you sure it wasn't Elon?
Yeah, well, he could have. It's possible.
I didn't realize you actually deleted it.
Yeah, I think we had talked about just getting rid of it.
Okay.
You hadn't posted on there in like 8 months.
Well, I forgot the password. And I changed phones. I got a new phone.
Pretty sure
so I
there's
couldn't get
ways to find the password.
Yeah, I didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
It was Elon 123.
Elon 123.
Elon with an A though.
We
Elon.
also post these episodes as video podcasts, so head to YouTube and check that out. And lastly, if you find yourself longing for more of my sultry voice, I joined another podcast, and it's called the BLPA Big Show. It's mostly about beer league hockey, and we also talk NHL and other sports, life stuff, whatever comes up. Episodes are streamed live on Tuesdays at 6:30 p.m. Mountain Time on Facebook and Twitch, and there's a live chat feature, so you can jump on and chime in. We did one kind of like small tester episode type thing with just for the beer league that he's a part of, and I got a lot of shit. I got a lot of shit about the Blackhawks t-shirt that I was wearing. I also got a lot of shit about my map, which I thought you guys would appreciate that.
Did they say anything about your bangs?
Nothing about bangs.
Well,
Nothing about bangs.
How about being pasty white?
They did not talk about that, but it is a hockey podcast, so I feel like I was in good company.
What's wrong with the map?
I don't know. John and Greg make fun of my map.
It's fucking stupid.
Well, it's first of all, the world's not orange, is it?
I don't
know that.
You don't know that.
I've
you
been to
ever seen it?
space. I've been
According
to
to that,
space.
it's
Yes.
flat too, and in
Have you
3
ever been to
parts.
Arizona?
It's true.
Hey, so you guys, if you want to join me for my new podcast, I'll be at the McDonald's on the corner of Tampa and Balboa, and maybe join me for McRib.
If you would
Are
like
they
to join me in my hand job booth, I'll be I'll be in a mall coming to you while you come on me.
I mean, you're going to be the only one. You're going to be the only actual business in the mall. It'll be you and like the pretzel place, and that's it. So come on down, get yourself a handy and a pretzel.
In what order?
You know what? That's on you. That's up to you to decide.
Well, I'm thinking pretzel, handy, pretzel.
Okay, so it's
man.
it's like a handy sandwich, if you will.
You better squeeze a nap in there somewhere.
Well, after the second pretzel, you get to get a nap in.
Wait a minute, aren't you running the hand job booth?
I mean, it's a booth. How hard can it be to run it and do the hand jobs?
So wait,
I can literally.
you're getting a pretzel, you're giving a hand job, and then you're getting another pretzel.
Yeah.
So you essentially want two.
No. I'm not making
understand you.
pretzels.
I don't understand this.
I'm not making pretzels. I'm just giving out hand jobs.
No, I know that.
Pretzels. That's a different business.
Look,
that
we
just
went
happens to
over
be-
this business model. Okay, I'm on board. I get it.
Okay, cool.
I don't understand what the fuck you're so confused about, Kevin.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? It's
He
not.
gives himself hand jobs.
Okay.
So it's really a masturbation studio.
I was gonna say it's not the same exact kiosk that I thought it was.
It's called Public Indecency. So
It's a catchy title.
no.
You can also download the podcast version of the BLPA Big Show on Wednesday mornings, so check it out. And yeah, I hope you listen, Greg. You should jump on Tuesday nights and make fun of me.
I will definitely do that.
Yeah.
Hey, what's the over under on how soon Darren leaves?
I still have a lot of beer left.
It depends on your topic, I suppose. Speaking of, it is your turn since you brought the guest on for it. So, hey man, let's do it. I'm ready if you are.
Okay, well, I'm ready to go. So this week's topic has absolutely nothing to do with my brother, but he's going to participate anyway because it's something that he knows an awful lot about.
But he does not know the topic either, you said, huh?
He does not know the topic.
All right.
No.
I like it.
Yeah.
Wait.
Episode,
Can I guess? Can I guess the topic? Is
Yes.
it disappointing your mother?
Yes. And that history will be repeating itself.
Exactly. We fully explored that topic all week, so
Yeah.
something different.
We got to call her really quick so we can put her on.
That would be awesome.
Good holding on here.
No, it would not be awesome. It would be bad.
I've never even met her, but I think I can do the voice. Gregory!
Pretty close.
This is your mother.
It used to be higher pitch, but
Yeah, it's come down.
in the last 6 years, it's gotten kind of deep.
That's why I didn't go outside, because I knew that.
It's like it's a more somber Jewish old lady than it used to be, like a hyper excited one, and now it's like a somber, disappointed, like it's not good. It's like, Gregory, I can't believe you want me to have white furniture. What the fuck is your problem?
I don't think that was the problem, actually. The problem was that you didn't ask her.
Oh, Gregory. Can't believe you didn't consider my feelings when you selected my furniture from IKEA.
Does she say fuck or no?
No, I added that in for.
Oh, I was just curious. I don't know. Some moms. My mom drops
She's
the
no
occasional F-bomb.
stranger. She's no stranger to profanity.
Okay.
In multiple languages.
Nice.
Really?
Yeah.
Explain.
She can curse in Yiddish.
Oh, those are the worst.
They're rough.
Then you know you're in trouble.
Yeah, our father was the frequent target of that.
Well, he could curse in probably. He did well in English and French.
Yeah.
Wait, what was the topic?
Can I get to the fucking topic, please?
No.
Dude, you're just fucking rambling. Just go.
On today's episode, we're going to talk about... Wait a minute. I can't read. Whiskey. Okay, on today's episode, we're going to talk more about a topic as opposed to a person or persons who have fucked up. But fret not, friends, because it will still be fucked up. Today, we will discuss an explosive issue that is sure to fire you all up, because today's episode, we discuss spontaneous human combustion.
What have we learned?
How do
I've
you?
always been very curious about that. Actually.
Yeah, how do you stop it? Like, how do you not make it happen?
How do you stop it?
Yeah, because the whole it's like do we defeat ourselves? Does it repeat itself? So, like, I mean, that's not really like a choice. You just
You'll actually I answer that question
oh
in a little while, and you might not want to stop it. You know?
Okay. I feel like there's very few instances where I'd want to stop. I wouldn't want to stop it. But anyway, continue.
Yes.
Okay, sure. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. No problem.
So, just to get a little, I got to get this question out there. Have any of you guys ever spontaneously combusted?
Not my whole body.
Yeah.
Oh, I think he's talking about his balls.
Yep.
You guys know?
I'm glad you asked, Greg, because I have a story for this. So, no, I have not. I have not. Not in this life, anyway.
All right, guys. So even though spontaneous
Wait, you
human
didn't let
combustion,
John answer.
Oh, John, I'm assuming he didn't either.
Right.
But go ahead, John.
So, no.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Even though spontaneous human combustion is clearly obvious by its name, I'm going to take some time to define it, just in case you find yourself in a situation in which you are combusting and you don't know what to call it.
9/11. You don't know what to. Yeah.
Yeah, you
call
can
9/11?
I call it 9/11.
Do you have an 11 button on your phone?
I call it 9/11.
Oh.
Shorter.
Most gets them there faster.
It does.
Hey, who's the really old guy that called us? Okay, sorry. Spontaneous human combustion, which I might refer to as SHC, is the pseudoscientific concept of the combustion of a living or recently deceased human body.
Whoa.
Okay.
Deceased? Dead?
Well,
Living or deceased.
living
Yes.
or deceased.
Right, no, I
It
got
has to be,
that.
according to Greg, it has to be recently deceased.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not
Okay.
going to happen when you're buried.
Well, oh, that's a good point. Maybe
But
it
how
does
do we
happen.
know?
I'm curious.
We should go dig up every body
We
ever
know.
put in the ground.
See if they're all burned up.
Yeah.
Did you say we should dig up every body or everybody?
Yep. Well, it was every body, but it could also be everybody.
That is confusing. Yes.
Yes.
I just realized that's what that word means.
Congratulations.
Okay.
You said something, though, that we should talk about. Maybe not right now, but the pseudoscience and what pseudoscience means, right?
Yeah, that's why we brought Darren. Darren, explain pseudoscience.
I'm asking you.
Well, pseudoscience is science that's actually not based in science. It's people's, let's just call them
Trumpers.
Trumpers. Yeah, let's just call them Trumpers and conspiracy theorists.
Sounds scientific, right?
Yeah.
It uses lingo that makes it sound legitimate, but it's not, I think.
I think I like how he adds on
Darren
the
is
I
way
think
smarter
as if
than
he's
Greg,
not.
isn't he, John?
I don't know.
Like, way
Darren is-
smarter.
Oh,
Yeah,
Darren
Darren's
is
Darren's way smarter. He is smarter.
What?
He is
Yeah, but who decided to join you guys for the podcast?
he's smarter, better looking, more athletic, more successful, better father.
Way less annoying. I'll say that right off the bat.
Way less annoying. Way less annoying. And
I
and
feel like he doesn't struggle with anxiety.
he's never knocked out any of his teeth or broken his nose. So,
it's because I'm not as adventurous.
oh, look
I'm not
at
as
him.
ambitious.
And
He's not as tall.
It's true. He's not
Although
as
that's
tall.
changing. He's shrinking faster than
yeah.
I am.
Okay, so I'm not excited.
So
Anymore.
Darren is 3'11".
He's actually not sitting down right now. He's standing up.
He's,
And I'm on a phone book.
yeah.
What's a phone book? He's standing on the internet.
Way to go, Darren. We've lost all our Gen Z listeners.
Although we just spiked in boomers.
All of a sudden, we're just crushing the boomer market.
There's a lot of them.
And they got money to spend.
Oh man, they do.
That's right.
Okay, I didn't get through the first sentence yet.
No.
So
Okay, sorry.
thanks to Darren and his pseudoscientific combustion analytics.
My next topic's gonna be on timeshares, so we can keep that those boomers hanging out with us.
401ks.
Okay, so the other part about it is
Creamed
Life
wheat.
insurance.
so this either living or recently deceased human body, you got to combust without an external source of ignition. It's a belief that the fire starts within the body of the victim, which I don't understand why they need to blame the victim at this point.
I believe it's called victim shaming.
Yeah.
You're always catching yourself on fire internally.
Dumbass lighting himself on fire from the inside.
I told you not to drink that gas and light that match.
Cool. No, that would imply that the fire was external,
That's
buddy.
external combustion.
This means you have
no.
to pour gasoline down your mouth and send a match inside.
Right, which happens inside you, not outside you.
Do you think the match
We're
would
saying-
stay lit? I don't think
but
so.
it's spontaneous.
I mean, it works. It works in Bugs Bunny cartoons.
If you put a bunch of gasoline down your mouth, down your throat, it's going to for sure stay lit.
You know what? Hold on. I'm going to try.
I mean,
Hold please. This idea and the term spontaneous human combustion were both first proposed in 1746 by Paul Rowley, a fellow of the Royal Society. Sounds really pretentious. How would you like to be a fellow at the Royal?
Not only are you a fellow,
I'm actually a fellow. So
you're a fellow. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's all right. Darren went down a notch now. At least Greg isn't quite that pretentious.
That's true.
Okay. In an article published in the Philosophical Transactions concerning the mysterious death of Countess Cornelia Sangria Bandy. So apparently she was the first one that was recorded of dying from spontaneous human combustion.
Did you say sangria?
I did say sangria.
All right.
Yes.
I think we know why people internally combust. It's alcohol.
I'm a red sangria kind of guy. How about you?
Me too. I just had some. I went to a local Peruvian restaurant and they make their own sangria. And it's hard not to just drink that until you pass out.
Yeah.
So her name was Gary.
Her name was what?
Did I say it wrong?
Name is Zangari, not Sangria or Zangria.
I didn't say.
Yeah, you did.
You said
You did.
Sangria. It's
I mean, we can play
Gary.
it back, but I'm pretty sure it was sangria, and now I kind of want some sangria.
So I just want to say.
I'm trying to liven up the days with alcohol.
So Greg gives me shit, and I just want to.
Okay, you don't have to finish your talk.
Let him talk.
I am terrible at English. I'm terrible at English.
I'm blocking John.
But Greg constantly gives me shit about I misspell a word, I'll say a word wrong, and so to watch this happen, this is Darren. I love you. You're really.
I'm happy to provide that service.
Yeah, notice it's not comedy he's providing.
No.
Don't care.
No.
It's joy for me is what he's doing. So
Tell me what else you need, John.
just keep doing what you're doing. You just be you, Darren.
It's like John Banks' version of a jet ski. He could not possibly have more fun.
It's true.
Okay. Writing in the British Medical Journal. You want to read this? Because the font's big enough for you, buddy. It's the first time I've read it. It's not like I've rehearsed. Writing in the British Medical Journal in 1938, coroner Gavin Thurston, said that right? Thank you.
Nice.
Describes the phenomenon as having apparently attracted the attention not only of the medical profession, but of the laity. Fucking lady, 100 years ago. So now Darren is. Please explain to these lay people what laity means.
Lady?
Laity, yeah.
It means non-religious leaders. It's just the
No, it
actually
actually just means lay people. I said it in the fucking sentence. Darren fucked up. It's one for Darren and one for Greg.
You know, here's the thing.
I think at this point it's like
guys.
37 for Darren and 1 for Greg.
I think it was lady is the word they used. Huh. Lady usually has a religious connotation. People who are
Kevin, Google it, buddy. It just means lay people, the lay people.
Yeah, let's hear the definition. I can Google it.
Does anyone else have a vocabulary erection?
How do you spell? Hey,
is that like a
Gregors,
soft
how do you
bone?
spell that?
Laity.
Keep going.
All right. While you're looking it up, in his
lay people as distinct from the clergy.
Oh, we were both fucking right.
That's adorable.
That's pretty good. Nooks. Darren and I have a secret thing that no one else does.
Yep. Never seen anyone do that before.
You guys should. You know what you guys should do? You should blow it up after. That's what you should do.
Oh, that's super.
Because
super
of the
unique.
human combustion?
Yes.
Oh.
He didn't realize that,
I didn't.
but it made perfect sense for this episode. In his 1995 book, Ablaze, guess what that's about? Larry E. Arnold, a director of Parascience International, wrote, there's got to be one member, and it's Larry, wrote that there had been about 200 cited reports of spontaneous human combustion worldwide over a period of around 300 years. So think about how lucky you would be to spontaneously combust.
It's less than one a year.
Not a lot of people are doing it. Man.
No, it's definitely a niche.
My mom always told me I was. My mom said I was special. I really hope this is the way she meant. So.
I don't think she did.
So do we, John. So do we.
Okay, I'm going to quote a lot.
I just want to see what happens. I just want, I hope it happens during a podcast.
You know what?
I hope so too.
That puts you on the map.
We would be so popular after that.
Yep.
John, think of the show. Think of Greg and I and
Okay.
Darren, because Darren's going to replace you.
Yeah, didn't you have an ulcer? Can't it blow up somehow? Did you?
Oh, no.
I did.
I'm sorry.
Yes, I did.
Guess how he got the ulcer? I gave him the ulcer.
Yeah.
Because you were complaining all the time and he got tired of it
No.
and stressed him out.
It's actually a virus. You actually get it from a virus, and it usually comes from poop. So I was licking Greg's butthole.
I didn't think it was that.
Yeah, it was a carrier that I forget what it's called, but yeah, that's what it causes it.
All right, good
Oh,
to
you
know.
had a hernia,
You
not
heard
an
it here
ulcer.
first, folks. Ulcers are caused by licking Greg's asshole.
So seriously, I
Only mine.
Only Greg's.
I'm very busy.
You've got a lot. You don't have much free time, that's for sure.
Free up my calendar.
Hey, you only get one lick. We got a line here.
Then step by John's kiosk for a hand job. He'll finish you off. I'm going to turn you on, and he'll disappoint you.
Mom was right.
Is that what Mom said?
Oh God! Stop it, Kevin.
he doesn't
That made
listen.
my stomach spin. Feel like we were going somewhere. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to quote really heavily from this guy Benjamin Radford.
You usually do that.
What? I just want to give him credit.
Yeah, no, I get you.
He did a bunch more research on human combustion than I did.
Yes, that's for sure.
Spontaneous human combustion. There's nothing like pre-planned human combustion.
Is there spontaneous other mammals or other animal combustion as well?
I'm glad you asked that.
Why don't we just call it spontaneous combustion?
Because, well, we could, but spontaneous combustion could happen in like machinery.
Oh, yeah.
So, like if you have a combustible engine or something like that.
Okay,
so
thank you.
Stupid fucking question.
Would they call it spontaneous combustion though, or would they just call it combustion in that situation?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, if it's
it can happen spontaneously.
Spontaneous, then it's spontaneous.
I love when every time we ask Greg a question, he doesn't know the answer to. He's just like, he just looks at his notes. And then...
That's because I'm kind of buzzed, man. And
The answers you seek were not on Wikipedia, so I don't know.
All right.
So what did Mr. Pratt?
Let's get back to Radford. I can tell Darren wants to get the fuck out of here.
No. This is fun.
It is pretty interesting.
No. This is fun.
This is
fun.
It's
all right.
It's fun adjacent.
Yeah.
For well over a century, some have claimed that people can suddenly and inexplicably explode into a ball of fire, which sounds fucking awesome, by the way. The phenomenon is called spontaneous human combustion, and it has been described
spontaneous combustion. We're still workshopping this.
No,
right.
we're good. No, we're not. We don't get to workshop it. We didn't come up with the concept.
It's a term of
People
art.
have researched it, man. You can't change that shit. You're not the boss of everything, Kevin.
Yet.
Even though he's wearing his MAGA hoodie. Okay.
He's got 2 podcasts of the 127 he's going to do, all part of his plan to take over the world.
Yeah.
He's going to be really popular with white nerds. Okay. Okay, so the phenomenon called spontaneous human combustion, and it has been described in many popular books on mysteries and the unexplained. Through the term spontaneous human combustion, though the term spontaneous human combustion is of fairly recent vintage, which I was not a fan of Benjamin using that word vintage in that. But I mean, I know
Can you call him
use
Benjamin, or should you call him Mr. whatever his last name was?
Doctor Radford.
Is he a doctor?
No, he's just some dude.
He didn't go to 9 years of medical school for you to call him Mr. Asshole.
Mr. Asshole, that's me. I bet you he doesn't have a line out the door. People looking at his poo-poo hole.
Why? Why couldn't you just call it your butthole? Like,
okay. So let's see. I'm going to skip ahead. Okay, the most famous
Greg is the cleanest
example.
asshole of anybody around, if that's the case.
He has the what?
The cleanest asshole.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Well, yeah.
Well,
not in those first couple of licks.
Not all my clientele want it that way.
It would really suck if you're the person that's next, and then he's like, "Hey, I gotta run. I'll be right back in like 10 minutes." But that chili didn't settle well, you know. And you're
okay if the
like
next-
next in line. You're like, oh.
I've had
It's okay if
4.
the next guy in line is German. Have you seen their porn, Darren? They like scat. Yeah, they like scat.
They're also into
It's like a
choking,
generalization.
spanking, pegging, peeing on each other, midgets,
whoa.
You can't say that, man.
little people.
Take that back. That's right.
People of small.
Okay, so let's see here. The most famous example is Charles Dickens' 1853 novel Bleak House, in which a character explodes into fire. Though the phenomenon can also be found in the works of Mark Twain, Herman Melville, Washington Irving. You know, this is actually pretty good. These are pretty well-known people, obviously, that wrote about spontaneous human combustion. So
The
it's not like
X-Files.
it's...
I believe there was an X-Files episode about it.
And
You
SVU.
are way ahead.
Look at this guy. He's one sentence ahead.
Listen to that.
In modern times, I sent him a copy of these notes. In modern times,
I actually tell
Spontaneous-
Greg what to say. Very
Yes.
much a control freak.
he's kind of like Jay Bloom, Dinosaur Jr., like telling me how to play the song.
How's your mental health?
Jay Maskus?
Jay Maskus.
Yeah.
Why did you say Barlow? Lou Barlow.
Lou Barlow.
Barlow.
Oh,
Lou
fuck,
Barlow.
man. Put a
Yeah,
little
I'm
bit
so
of booze in
embarrassed
me.
for
I'm
you.
getting-
And who's the drummer? You remember who the drummer is?
Murph.
What band is this?
Dinosaur Jr.
Dinosaur Jr.
Fuck. In modern times, spontaneous human combustion has appeared in movies and on television shows, including the
X.
Jay
Files,
Maskus.
Kevin.
Was there a dinosaur senior, or is it just?
Wasn't.
There
Yeah,
was
it
the
wasn't.
original band was called Dinosaur, and I believe that the members changed, and so he changed the name to Dinosaur Jr.
Is that for real?
I believe
There
so.
was a copyright or trademark issue.
Oh, was that what it was?
Yeah.
Okay.
There was already a dinosaur
You
out there.
bunch of goddamn.
I was in a band that
nerds.
opened up for Jay Maskus.
What?
Yeah, it was fun. He was a very
Wow.
strange man.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's an oddball.
He didn't want to talk to anybody. He was very, very much an introvert.
Yeah. Well, so
Which-
are you.
Amazing musician.
Oh yeah.
Amazing guy.
One of the better guitarists, one of the more underrated guitarists.
No, I rate him pretty high.
We're big fans.
Okay, guys. So let's keep.
Wait, is that
going
the
here.
"Say I'm the Only Bee in Your Bonnet" song? That band? Is that, no,
Not at all. Not,
not
even
at all.
close.
Not
Nope.
at all. Who is that?
You're thinking
That-
of.
they might be giants.
They might-
Yes,
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
They are
Yeah.
not even. Yeah,
That's a
they're not
very
close at all.
different band. Yeah.
Slightly different sound.
You know,
Okay.
I
But
just
we've seen them both live.
want to be part of the
Right.
group, and
good point.
and I fell.
Join us for my third podcast, 80s 90s alt rock.
Our fourth one, John ruins everything
Oh,
because he talks about bees and bonnets.
Build a little birdhouse in your soul.
In your soul.
He's unashamed. Okay,
John, we
guys,
can do a Dave
fires-
Matthews podcast for you too, bud.
Okay.
oh.
Why you have to
As
bring that
if
guy
you. Why do you assume I don't already have one?
up? Yeah, just because he's not talking about it all the time.
It's me and Dave Matthews, and we just
shoot
talk
the
for
shit.
hours. So
I think
You
I'd
talk
rather
about
hear John
showers?
we talk for hours
Okay.
about showers.
in the shower.
In the shower.
We have sex, all right?
I would rather hear John Banks sing "Crash Into Me" than Dave Matthews.
Really? All right.
would.
I don't know the lyrics. I don't know the words.
Okay.
In a boy's dream.
I knew it, motherfucker. I knew that you knew the song.
You
because
gotta hike up your skirt a little more.
Of course I know the fucking song. It was everywhere.
Yeah,
Who
well,
knows that
you
song?
could have turned off the radio, but you listened to it because you loved it.
Okay, guys. So spontaneous combustion theories. Fires do not typically start on their own. When investigators search for the cause of a forest fire, they don't assume that the flame ignited itself. Maybe they should. Rather, they usually suspect that a careless camper or lightning strike caused it. However, many things can self-ignite without exposure to flames. Like, if you have oily rags, they could ignite. Or if you have a big fat alcoholic person, They can self-ignite.
But the oily rags, it has to be in a dark place. Did you know that?
It has to be in a dark place? Why would it have to be in a dark place?
If the oily rags have light on them, they don't ignite. They have to be in darkness.
Really?
Yeah, that's true.
I never know, because a lot of times John says that sort of stuff, and then...
John has this shtick where he says things like in a very serious way, and it makes it sound like he fucking knows what he's talking about.
But oftentimes, I know it's not pseudoscience. It's Google it.
I believe him, actually.
You cannot. It will not ignite if it's getting sunlight. It has to be.
I believe John, but I do not believe that entire paragraph.
Yeah. Boy, Darren is not as smart as he thought he was.
So arson investigators suspect it was a careless camper. Oh, lightning strike, you said. That's fair. Okay. Sorry.
So why? How do oily rags spontaneously combust?
I think it has to do with riboflavins.
Your research sucks.
So
you want me to fucking research oily rag combustion?
Well, if you're gonna say it, you gotta back it up with some shit.
I researched human combustion. Are you only picking up one side?
Yeah.
So it's a chemical reaction that only happens when it's dark. And I don't actually know why it happens when it's dark, but if sunlight is hitting it, or any light, it doesn't have to be sunlight. If any light is hitting the rag, the chemical reaction cannot exist. So whatever the catalyst is, it has to be darkness.
That's the beauty of having 4 people here. I'll research that while you guys keep talking.
Man, I really hope everything I just said was true.
Well, you're gonna get fact checked. It sounds like. That's
what my dad always told me.
He was right. It's a whole different matter to claim that people can suddenly burst into flames for no apparent reason. There's no doubt that bodies can burn. Crematoriums routinely reduce the human body to ashes in the course of a few hours. The mystery of spontaneous human combustion lies in the supposedly strange circumstances under which the victims burst into flames.
It takes a few hours for cremation? I didn't know that.
I could let you know after I kill John Banks and burn him up.
It's the bone that takes the longest. It takes a lot of heat and a lot of time to burn a bone.
And the teeth never go.
Yeah, some of them do. Like if you're in there long enough, some of the
John, you know a lot about this. This is freaking me out, man.
He was either a Nazi or he's a serial killer.
Listen, I think I've said this on the podcast. My dad is a Vietnam vet, and I had a very dark childhood with a lot of a lot of information that I didn't need, but it's in here.
You're like, a lot of information that most 6-year-olds don't really need to know.
Yeah. Dude, seriously, my dad had a photo album of dead people that he kept that I saw for the first time when I was like 5 or 6 years old. So
a photo album?
Was it entitled Dead People? Was
he responsible for those deaths?
Yes.
That's awesome.
Okay.
That's terrible.
Again, Vietnam vet. People he killed.
So much like oily rags, John Banks can only thrive in the dark.
And I'm not sure the dark really has anything to do with it, John, although it may be true. But according to a quick cursory...
How's it feel, John?
But no, he was close.
From Darren, it feels fantastic.
It's the oxygen exposure that's important.
Oh, okay.
So the oil oxidizes and increases in temperature and eventually reaches the ignition point, the auto ignition point of the material, which is about 495 to 536 degrees Fahrenheit.
Oh, wow.
So maybe spontaneous human combustion has something to do with our auto ignition point.
Right. Has to do with the oily rags.
All of the people that had this happen swallow oily rags.
Or people who eat a lot of olive oil. It's mostly Greeks that go up. So
fucking Greeks, man.
Yeah.
They're always breaking plates and shit.
Well,
it's not okay. Their economy, no wonder their economy collapses.
That's why they break the plates. They break the plates because at any minute they could go up. You gotta live.
They have the longest. That's the Mediterranean thing, right? They have the longest lifespan, or one of the longest lifespans.
That's the best diet you can do.
So
unless you catch on fire,
exactly.
Yeah.
That's the only drawback to the Mediterranean diet.
Right.
Yeah.
Good heart health.
Just goes to show that life is always like it always goes both ways. You can't just have it all.
Life is bisexual. That is true.
It's done right. Okay, so how do these victims die? Because that's where I was talking about like 10 minutes ago. Typically, the story goes there's no obvious source of ignition, no open fires nearby that might set the person aflame. Furthermore, the victims are killed and not, for example, only partly burned on. Wait, this sentence makes no sense. Yeah, everyone that has spontaneous human combustion fucking dies, and oftentimes their appendages are left remaining, just chilling, like their feet, their shins down, their hands. They're like just chilling right there while everything else is reduced to ash.
So it starts in the core.
Yeah, it's going to
Immediate
be
sober.
Yeah, like everything good starts in your core work.
So maybe
So no more planks.
No more leg day. No, you can do leg day.
You can do leg day. You better do leg day because
Yeah.
that's the only thing that's going to be left.
Yeah.
You better have some good calf muscles.
Good defined calves. Yeah.
That's
What
what
if
I want to leave behind.
What if it's a baby dragon inside it? Like, what if you're birthing? What if it's like one out of, because what is it? It's one every century, basically. So 1 out of like 2 billion people like birth the dragon. Why can't it be that?
It's more like about every 10 months or something.
Oh, okay. Well,
Actually, no, I should say, no, that's wrong. It's
Be about
there were
13 months, right?
There were 200 and 300 years, I think is what you said.
Yeah, so it's almost one a year. It's like one every year and 3/4.
So it happens more often than you think.
Yeah. John.
And this
Fuck. Dragons. What an idiot.
That's something to think about, actually.
That means
yes,
it's
Darren.
shit.
I love Darren. It's awesome.
We're overdue, by the way, for someone that's spontaneously.
Exactly. How many episodes have you guys done? 300?
100.
100. This
So
is
we
102.
We're close. We're close. Okay, guys. Some of these popular claims are simply wrong.
What?
For example, there are many photographs of supposed SHC victims that clearly show extensive burnings and damage to the clothing and surroundings of the burned person. It's also important to understand a bit of fire forensics, which you guys have obviously not been paying attention to. Many fires are self-limiting. That is, they put themselves out naturally because they run out of fuel. Though the public often sees uncontrolled fires completely engulfing and burning down entire rooms and buildings, fires are unpredictable. It is quite possible, for example, for only a rug, bed, or sofa to catch fire without spreading the rest of the room. Because fires normally burn upward instead of outward, there is nothing paranormal or strange about finding a victim in one part of a burned room to... Never mind. This sentence.
You're basically
Greg.
You're debunking this idea that there's SHC. It's like it's
I know.
explained by
That's
other
what's
ways.
going to happen the rest of this.
Darren,
fucking
props
rest
for
of the
saying
way.
SHC, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah, well,
I like that.
Sound out
You're
your words, Greg. You're
Oh,
embarrassing
sorry.
yourself.
you just don't do trigger warnings on this podcast.
Oh, good point. Like,
No,
what if
we
Kevin
should.
had an uncle that died
Yeah,
from
no kidding. I was just
spontaneous human combustion?
Here's
What
the
about
thing.
the source of ignition? What could possibly cause people to suddenly burst into flames? A century ago, it was blamed on intemperance,
a lot of things
That-
should be blamed on that.
Is that drinking?
the alcohol stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
okay.
even God's wrath. Most victims were assumed to be drunkards who had saturated their cells with alcohol. In the 1970s, a quasi-Freudian explanation came into vogue, suggesting that a person's depressive emotional states could somehow cause him or her to become
The
inflamed.
1970s?
That means I'm fucked.
Yeah.
That's
amazing.
So were all these people Jewish? I just curious.
I mean, more than likely.
It's depression, not guilt.
Oh, you're right. Well,
Oh.
it's anxiety, right? Well, I guess the guilt causes.
You're really grasping at straws, buddy. For your anti-Semitism. Good work. Others have suggested that sunspots, cosmic storms, gas-producing intestinal bacteria, or even a buildup of the body's supposed vibrational energy may be to blame.
It's your goddamn chakras out of alignment.
They are.
Yeah.
It's because Kevin keeps mixing up his 3-part maps on his wall. Like he puts them out of order, and then we all explode.
I should do that sometime, see how long it takes for you guys to notice.
I won't.
It might be years.
I won't.
Could be yours. Yet all of these explanations are pseudoscientific, Darren, and there's no evidence for any of them. Our bodies are about 60 to 70% non-flammable water, as opposed to that flammable water that you can get at 7-Eleven sometimes. when it's
Or
on
this
sale.
this flammable water.
That is flammable water.
That's not even flammable.
No, it's
Put a
It is
match
called-
in there and see if it lights.
It's fire water.
It is fire water.
What is-
That's
what
my
is
Have you
it
ever
Native
blown a
American
fireball
name.
with like Everclear or anything like that?
Oh yeah, I've spit fire before.
Have you?
Yeah. Have you?
Done that.
I haven't. I saw someone do it and then they immediately threw up, so I didn't really want to anymore.
How do you know the two things may or may not be mutually exclusive?
It's true. I don't know.
That's a good point.
I certainly associated them.
Do we?
There happened
do-
one right after the other, so
But were there a lot of people around?
I was at a party. Yeah.
So did anyone else throw up because they saw someone throw up?
No, I was surprised at that. Yeah.
Was anyone close enough to smell it?
You know, man, it was college. It's been a while, so I don't really remember exactly where everybody was standing.
Was anyone hurt?
Nobody
Have
was
you guys
hurt.
have you guys explored the causation correlation idea on any of these podcasts? Because Kevin, really, that was really kind of profound,
Yep.
right?
it
You're
was.
not sure whether it was caused by it or it was just it happened, and it's the same thing with the spontaneous human combustion thing.
That's true.
You're trying to pump his tires out.
You need to dig a little bit on these topics and like get to the
Oh,
philosophical.
Listen, Greg reads
I
one
haven't gone
article
there
and
yet.
just plagiarizes the whole fucking thing. That is
No
the
kidding.
episode.
No shit.
I haven't gotten there yet. No, there's a lot of my own personality within this.
Okay.
Like the
but there's not a
vibrational
lot of
energy,
research,
That's
though.
just yeah.
Vibrational energy was all me.
It was.
Okay.
Okay.
That's good. I like that.
Wait,
Sounded-
are
it
you-
sounded right?
Greg and Darren, are you guys wearing the same colored shirt?
It's just bad lighting in
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine's lighter than his.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
mine's a hoodie.
All right.
Yeah, I don't have a hood. I can't afford a hood. So
You'll get there,
yeah,
champ. Just keep trying.
about the flammable, non-flammable water, blah blah blah. People truly could burst into flames without being anywhere near an open flame. Presumably, there would be examples that have occurred while the victim was swimming, in a bathtub, scuba diving, in a fucking courtyard by Marriott fountain, right?
It's very specific. You could have said hotel.
All your examples, water examples.
That's it. It's that's the whole point
That's-
of it being a water. If
man.
you could spontaneously human combust, it wouldn't matter if you're in water or not. It's going to come from the inside.
Okay, so
You'd probably go up a
time the
little
water
faster.
douses it, you'd still have some internal damage.
Yeah, and it's not happening.
Thank you
It
for
could,
explaining.
it could happen in space.
Yes.
Oxygen?
Well, that's coming from
No
inside
one would
you.
hear you screaming.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
Oh
Yeah.
man, I almost said that one. Darren, he beat me to it, man.
Well, because he's funnier and better looking.
Better
he might
looking.
be.
He's in better shape.
Smarter.
We could go through the whole
Better hairline.
fucking
It's a litany. It's a litany. He's got the
I
natives.
just want our listeners to know.
He's less blurry. I don't know how that's possible.
He is less blurry. Yeah, he's coming in crystal clear, and you're just a blob. You're a blobby, blurry mess, and I can see Darren's cheekbones.
It's too far, guys. It's too much. I've reached my tipping point, man.
Oh no!
So
Oh,
I have
guys.
can I ask a question about spontaneous?
I
about
can't answer it, man.
SHC? No. I have a very basic question. So it's. I know we talked about pseudoscience, but it's a legitimate thing that happens. Is that debated? Is there a debate as to whether it spontaneous
question.
human combustion exists?
Okay, so I'm going to get on to the next page and tell you what has happened to people. Because people have burned and their bodies have been found like reduced to ashes, except for some appendages, which makes no sense to me. Because the temperature of which your bones actually melt and turn to ash would have to be 4,000 degrees. And if your body source goes up to 4,000 degrees, you're going to melt your fucking $4,000 couch. Like everything around you is going to catch on fire.
That's true.
That would
And
that
yet
would
they-
catch.
So this is why I don't understand what the fuck is going on. Like, how do you be reduced to ashes,
But things around you aren't.
but things
is what you're
around you
saying.
aren't? It doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah, that's weird.
Well, that's why they put Mulder and Scully on it, man.
They did, but like they found human remains like that before. So
Okay.
I can't make sense
They
of
should
it.
have started with that.
Yeah.
If you led with that, I would have understood what you're doing a lot better.
It also would have been a little more gripping, you know?
yeah.
All right, guys.
Maybe we should
Welcome to History Defeats Itself.
Exactly.
The podcast that obviously needed Darren to be in place.
Hey, Greg, could you just hand your notes to Darren and just leave for a minute?
I fucking tried to. He wouldn't take them.
Maybe like 45 minutes.
Good. Let's make sure we pick this up.
No.
Is that are you having Bud Light?
Yeah, what is that? A Bud Light?
Oh, Midwest.
We need some form of a towel.
Ventura, California. It's really good.
Okay.
How did that explode?
Wow.
It's spontaneously combusted, guys. Hold on.
SBC.
We may have to take a little time out for a second while I get some Kleenex and
Tissue.
Oh yeah, we can't say it by brand.
Not the first time we've had to take a time out on this show so someone could grab a tissue. Yeah. All right.
Well,
It
because
must be Greg, right?
one of us has a hand job booth, and he
One of
often
us spilled a beer.
operates the hand job booth while on the podcast. So
That's true. I mean, you're an entrepreneur. You got to be available whenever,
Right. Well,
John's actually got his Zoom background right now, and he's been giving hand jobs the whole
Right, like, I thought I saw ears popping out back there periodically.
You
Wait,
can always
now we're
tell
gonna
when it's a
play a
little blurry
blowjob.
around them, no, that's definitely not his real background.
yeah, that was
Poor
it.
Darren, he's got to sleep in this room tonight, and it's gonna smell like Braid beer, Midwest beer. Midwest, not a sponsor.
Is it an IPA?
Talk to him about sponsoring the show.
This is just a pale.
Yeah.
West Coast Pale Ale. It's not an IPA. It's not very bitter. It's delicious.
Nice.
I spilled the beer all over my fucking notes.
John, what are you drinking tonight?
I am drinking just Jameson, just Irish whiskey.
You don't drink a lot of Irish whiskey. Everyone knows what
And
James.
you also shouldn't say just.
Oh my God! So when we were in Thailand, we were getting a Jameson, and they were like, we go, can we get a Jameson? And they go, John Jameson. I was like, sure. I didn't know. I just was like
They
a
brought
last name
someone out
basis.
from the back. Like, yeah, you wanted to see me?
No, that's actually what it is. It's John Jameson whiskey. So
John Jameson.
yeah.
Yeah, I saw those commercials where he jumped into the fucking ocean.
No,
Going
I
after it.
didn't know any of that. I was very confused of why they were. I was like, why are you being so formal? Like, I call him JMO.
Well, you just.
So I'm sorry.
No, don't apologize,
I'm the
Darren.
guest.
God damn it, don't apologize.
I'm the guest, but why don't you get to that situation where people are burned to ashes and everything around them is not?
Okay, here we go.
Talk about that.
Wow, I love this.
Okay, that's a little demanding from a guest.
We're 40 minutes in. You want to get to the fucking point? Is basically what Darren said.
Yeah, that's what he said.
But he said it in such a classic, elegant Darren way. You
It
know?
was very elegant. It was way more elegant
I
than any of the
spilled
three of
beer all
us.
over my gray sweats.
Yeah, I know. Nobody said anything about you being elegant, so don't worry.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
All right, guys, real life cases. Only about a dozen claimed real life cases of spontaneous human combustion have been investigated in any detail. Researcher Joe Nickel examined many unexplainable cases in his book Real Life X-Files and found that all of them were far less mysterious than often suggested. Most of the victims were elderly, alone, and near flames, often cigarettes, candles, and open fires, when they died. Several were last seen drinking alcohol and smoking. And I don't know why our culture doesn't push that shit enough. Now all of a sudden you got the anti-spontaneous human combustion fucking people coming at you.
I've drank. I used to be a smoker, and I drank a lot then too. I
Good thing
never
you're still here,
lit
bud.
on fire.
You got lucky.
You got lucky.
I used to be a juggalo. I just thought we were sharing things. So
Did he say juggalo?
Yeah, juggalo.
Oh my
A
god.
juggalo is someone that follows the, what's the name of that
Insane
band?
Clown
John?
Posse.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be great? I want to see John as a juggalo.
I don't know.
yeah.
I barely want to see him as a kiosk.
He'd be at those events just trying to get everybody to be nice to each other.
No, he
true.
wouldn't. No, he stirs shit up, man.
No,
I
I would-
think he's a good dude, but he's not. I really got this beer everywhere, man. Look
I'd
how
have the
wet I am.
juggalo.
I look like I went on a water ride.
Focus.
Okay, my bad. If the person is asleep, intoxicated, unconscious, infirm, or otherwise, just like my brother, infirm, or otherwise unable to move or put the flames out, the victim's clothes can act as a wick. Most people spend most of their time wrapped in flammable clothing made up of cottons and polyester blends.
Blaming the victim again.
Again, blaming the victim. Because, like, there's so many choices in the kind of clothes that you could buy. Like, you could fucking wear fire retardant shit. Anyway.
It'd be way too hot, you know?
The flames draw on the body's fat. So I'd never go up. A flammable oil very near the skin's surface, which combines with the burning clothing to fuel the fire.
That's gross.
But I thought it originates inside the body.
Well, this is giving you the real way that people...
This is debunking the whole thing.
This is debunking the...
But had you ever thought about that? That your skin is so flammable in part because of the body fat? That's gross.
That's disgusting.
That's crazy. I never thought about that.
Well, that's why you're so skinny.
Something.
Oh, that's not patronizing.
Wait. Who do you think of the four of us who would go up the fastest and burn the hottest?
Okay, John, do we need to hear that?
No.
I mean, I have a theory.
It's
Who would drown the slowest? So, trade-off.
Good point.
As you're burning,
drowning's unlike fucking spontaneous human combustion happens once every 3 seconds.
But you can't swim worth a shit. But you
can swim.
You could float. No, you are a good swimmer. I'm sorry. You're also a good diver.
Now he's buttering me up, and I'll take it. Okay.
I feel so pretty. Right now.
I just feel seen. Okay, science says bodies can act like a candle. The prevalent scientific... I didn't know if it was prevalent or prevalent for a second.
Prevalent?
The prevalent scientific explanation for spontaneous human combustion is known as the Wick effect, which proposes that humans
It's John
can
Wick
act
who
like
comes
candles
in.
do.
What'd you say, John?
Body fat.
I said it's John Wick who just comes in and beats the shit out of everybody. So
And then he lights his Zippo. He's a badass.
I'm John Wick. I sound like Neo.
and also the guy in Point Break. And
Just a coincidence.
I'm Johnny Utah.
That's a good movie.
It is a good movie.
Patrick Swayze.
it's a classic.
What's it called again?
Point Break.
Point Break.
Okay, good. All right, guys. Guess what? In 1998, as part of a BBC television program, scientists in the UK, of course the UK, replicated similar conditions with a dead pig.
But that wouldn't be spontaneous human combustion, though.
No, but listen what they did.
Okay.
Unironically, they wrapped the pig in a blanket. Like, that's the way this guy fucking writes this. Before lighting it on fire, the pig's feet were left behind. Exactly the results of many reported cases of spontaneous human combustion.
All the
So
bones
can you
were gone?
imagine how good it smelled in that room?
Oh my god, yeah. Oh,
Do you think
delicious.
What happens if you wrap a pig that you're going to put in the ground in bacon? Put that pig in the ground.
I don't know, man.
Can't we just bread the fucking thing? Let's just bread it, you know? I mean, that'd be delicious.
If you wrap a pig in bacon, it's like double bacon.
I know, right? Like, what happens? That's got to be.
I think you're gonna bend time and space.
Yeah, I think that would have made Einstein's head explode.
It's like a Terminator that comes from the future to kill you before you can do it.
And then you dip like pork rinds in it.
Oh God!
Sounds good.
Cover it in bacon grease.
Darren's acting as our mom again because it's not kosher. You can't do it. You're not allowed having it, and don't have a glass of milk with me.
Well, Darren, didn't you did something? Didn't you do something with the FDA?
Yeah,
or
bar
something?
mitzvah.
No, didn't you did something where you went to you got to witness firsthand the like how shitty it is for animals.
That's right. Wow, good memory.
Yeah.
I did food safety stuff, and I got to go to slaughterhouses.
Slaughterhouse 5.
Some people just get to have all the fun, you know.
It's really awesome.
He paid for that shit.
I was a vegetarian for how many years afterwards?
Yeah, he was a vegetarian for a long
Like
time.
20, I would imagine.
He told me stories about that while I ate a McRib.
Well, in all fairness, that's probably not actual meat.
No.
Good point. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
It's
Have you ever
asparagus.
seen what a McRib looks like without the sauce?
It's like white and bony.
It looks
weird.
like a human brain.
They make it look like it has bones in it. That's one of the best
Yeah.
parts.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah, it is. Delicious, though.
Edible bones?
Psychologically,
Yeah.
they need to do that. Otherwise, you can't distinguish it from the chicken from anything else.
Oh.
Yeah, Kevin.
It's all the same. What's that stuff called? The
Paste?
the ground up
Meat
homogenized.
paste? Bone meal?
Oh no,
Wait.
what's it called? There's a name.
There's a name for it.
Yeah, there's a name for it.
Is it
I can't
gelatin?
remember it.
I think we've talked about it on the show before.
I have no idea what the fuck you guys are talking about.
It's the chicken stuff that they make nuggets out of and all that other.
Oh, you mean when they just pull on a big
Wow, this
handle
is.
that's on the side of a
I'm-
tank?
I'm actually
just-
getting nauseous.
Oh, I thought you were talking about something else. I can't.
Semen.
Boy, that kiosk, man, that kiosk has just warped his fucking mind.
John's a man of few words, but they're very well chosen words.
The Wood theory suggests that fat acts as a fuel source, and a human body is kept aflame through its own fat after being ignited. Blankets and clothing, meanwhile, act like a candle wick. All right, guys, so this is where this guy gets kind of cynical. As if telling the pig story wasn't bad enough. If SHC is a real phenomenon, why doesn't it happen more often? There are 7 billion people in the world, and yet we don't see reports of people bursting into flame while walking down the street. No one's ever been seen, filmed, or videotaped, for example, on a surveillance camera suddenly bursting into flames. I'm going to read it with that voice because this guy's really fucking negative. It always happens to a single person left alone near a source of ignition. And if some natural but unknown mechanism causes a combustion, why would it only occur in humans? Why wouldn't cows, dogs, elephants? He's just naming animals at this point. Ants. Great. We get it. Burst into flames. Big fucking deal. I believe in it. Even if
Sounds like the same thing as like, how come no one has ever recorded Jesus speaking to them?
Oh, there's
exactly the
I
same.
like that.
There's a reason for that. Jesus isn't real.
Well, he's not anymore. He's dead.
Right.
Did he spontaneously combust?
Probably.
Obviously.
We call that full circle.
Easter. We call that Easter.
We call that Easter.
I guess the Jews are to blame for that too, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Kind of.
Okay. So whatever. This guy fucking doesn't believe that bullshit. So you guys want some notable examples of people that have spontaneously combusted?
Like celebrities?
No, not
John Wick.
celebrities.
That's how he dies. That's how the
Quentin
series ends.
Tarantino. On July 2nd, 1951, Mary Reeser, a 67-year-old woman who was found burned to death in her home after her landlady realized that the house's doorknob was unusually warm. The landlady notified the police. Hello, police. The doorknob's warm.
My neighbor has a really, really warm doorknob. Like, what does this woman do? Just go around like checking doorknobs? Like, it wasn't like that about 10
And every
minutes
time
ago.
something feels a little bit off, she's going to call the cops.
Doorknobs are cold. This is not cold, and nobody's entered this house in an hour.
Oh,
Something is wrong.
So weird.
Am I right when I say this? Doorknobs are cold?
Yes.
Yeah, so this one's warm. Can you come over? So finally she was lucky. The cops came and... Okay, so here's what happened.
The cops
The landlady notified the police, and upon entering the home, they found Reeser's remains completely burned into ash, with only one leg remaining. That sounds hot. The chair she was sitting in was also destroyed. Reeser took sleeping pills and was also a smoker. Of course, you're always going to fucking... Again, we're blaming the victim. Despite its proliferation in popular culture, the contemporary FBI investigation ruled out the possibility of spontaneous human combustion. A common theory was that she was smoking a cigarette after taking sleeping pills and then fell asleep while holding the burning cigarette, which could have ignited her gown, ultimately leading to her death.
Oh, shit. The FBI was needed to figure that out, huh?
Her daughter-in-law stated... This
That's
is
a rough
my
way to go,
favorite
man.
part.
That is a rough way to
Here's
go.
what her own fucking daughter-in-law said. And I quote, "The cigarette dropped to her lap. Her fat was the fuel that kept her burning. The floor was cement and the chair was by itself. There was nothing around her to burn. So she's fat shaming her
After she dies.
after she dies. Like,
Wow.
why would you talk about the fat? And by the way, if you light yourself on fire with a cigarette, is that really going to make your fucking bones turn to ash? How does that get to 3,000 degrees?
I thought it was 4,000 degrees.
Wow, okay, even better. Wait, is it Celsius or Fahrenheit?
But
You
she
weren't
didn't say
specific.
she's so fat. She burned up because she's so fat. She said her
Your
fat.
mama's
We
so
all have
fat she
fat.
burned
We all
up
have
with a
fat.
cigarette.
daughter-in-law talk about
We all have fat.
Her fat was the fuel
Maybe
that
she
kept
was
her
a
burning.
scientist.
She's sounding like she's fucking like some kind of spontaneous human combustion.
What didn't you say? Was it her daughter
Professional.
or her daughter-in-law?
Yeah, good point.
Oh, that's a really good point.
I mean, that makes
Wow.
a big difference.
Yes. Usually
Well-
it's the mother-in-law who says that about the daughter-in-law.
Yeah,
but
that's
yeah,
true.
you're right.
Well, she probably got sick and fucking tired. Why didn't they investigate her?
Yeah.
Sounds like murder.
Killed
This
for
was
sure.
clear murder. Yeah, for sure, John. I
This
think,
was the FBI.
you know
We
what?
just solved
John,
a case from 1951.
we're going to do a third podcast. John and I are going to do a true crime podcast. We're going to get to the bottom of this.
Yeah.
Oh, me. I can't be on like a podcast.
You're fine.
But he's busy with the kiosk.
No, I mean, clearly, if the background keeps working, like he can do whatever, you know?
Well, I still don't see how your bones would burn to ashes.
No.
At that point. It doesn't make any fucking sense. All right, guys. Case number 2. Margaret Hogan.
God
Sound
damn it,
familiar?
Margaret Hogan.
Sound familiar, John? She's
It
your
does.
girlfriend in 8th grade.
Yep.
An 89-year-old widow who lived alone in a house on Prussia Street in Dublin, Ireland, was found burned almost to the point of complete destruction on March 28th, 1970. Curiously, 1 month before I was born. Plastic flowers on a table in the center of the room had been reduced to liquid.
Wait,
and a television.
are you implying you did it?
No, my pregnant mom did it.
Okay.
She waddled over there and she's like, "You 89-year-old widow."
She's
Here."
like, Alan, I'm going to Ireland. I'll be back in a bit.
"Why are you taking my lighter?"
I'm going to murder someone.
Why are you taking my good lighter?
He did smoke back then.
He did smoke in 1970.
He
Good
smoked
smoker.
when I met him. So
We didn't.
didn't he? Didn't he smoke until like his 40s?
Me, I was
You
3.
didn't meet my dad in his 40s.
40s, yeah, right.
Jesus Christ.
Didn't I go out and drink with him one night after we got out of the mines? Wasn't it?
My dad never spent a day in the mines, and you can't prove he did.
It's true.
Okay.
When did he quit?
In like mid-80s, I think.
I thought he smoked when I met you.
No.
Okay. He just had a
he did a lot
mustache.
of
He was already like some kind of Jack LaLanne guy when you met him. It's fucking... He's... That's funny, right? 'Cause-
Throw it to the camera.
oh my
I
God.
don't want it on my phone.
He never exercised a day in his life. That guy. It's amazing he made it 76.
Oh, why is
I
that
really
funny?
hope Mom doesn't watch this.
Why would you watch this? Are you going to find a picture of him? Oh, God. Here we go. Here's what he looked like when he was 22 years old.
I
Oh,
can't
man.
see it. It's all blurry.
It's all blurry. It's all
Too
blurry.
blurry. Sorry. Yeah,
But you can definitely see he has a mustache.
He's got a mustache, and he's a little overweight.
The mustache was actually really the only thing you could make out in that picture.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? That was his best feature.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you guys got to see that.
Yeah.
God, I'm getting emotional right now. Just thinking of his mustache. That's where Ray got it from.
Did you guys think the special guest was going to be Ray, by the way?
I
I'm going to
did.
totally disappoint you.
I thought
thought
it was
it-
going to be Ray.
I thought it was going to be Jen.
No,
Oh,
I'm
that
glad
would-
it wasn't Ray because then we couldn't have talked as much masturbation. It just would have been weird.
Yeah, Ray's good for masturbation.
I bet he is, and I don't want to talk to him about it. That's your job.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to Henry Thomas. And we're almost out of our misery. A 73-year-old man was found burned, blah, 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 in the living room. It doesn't make any fucking sense. They find his fucking feet, and that's it.
It's all in England and Wales and
Yeah, so you know it's suspect. man.
Yeah, definitely
For sure.
suspect.
That's fucking
Goddamn.
people.
Goddamn Great Britain. Fuck them.
Always lighting them, always spontaneously combusting.
Maybe it only happens there.
Maybe.
It's because of the pound.
It's also quite overcast there, you know, like so it's
Or
dark.
maybe they're not getting enough sunlight, like John said.
Yes.
Lack of vitamin D.
Yep.
It also happened in a 1984 mockumentary called "This Is Spinal Tap" about the fictional heavy metal band Spinal Tap. Two of the band's former drummers are said to have died in separate on stage spontaneous human combustion
Yeah,
incidents.
that's one that was actually caught on camera, right?
It was.
Yeah, it was.
And I really appreciate this. On that note page for Greg, it says also of note.
Yeah, I wrote that.
That was your contribution to to this.
Yeah. Good stuff.
What have we learned?
All right, guys.
Oh,
Here
so
we go.
much.
What have we learned, Greg?
So much.
So what have we learned, and are we defeating ourselves? I can definitely think of some people whose personalities would be greatly improved by a skosh if spontaneous human combustion.
I like the alliteration.
Yeah, but yeah, it's my pleasure. So anyway, I didn't proofread this. I made a grammatical error. But it seems we've learned it's kind of a bullshit thing, so it's hard to defeat ourselves. We just have to stop believing in bullshit, I guess. I think all of these cynical people that try to use science to explain away a legitimate thing like self-explosion are the biggest dicks of all. We don't need answers to everything, science. Maybe that's how we stop defeating ourselves. You self-righteous, condescending English twats.
Wait, are only scientists are English? Are only English people
All
scientists?
the cases are English.
Oh.
Yeah, and I noted that, and that's why.
Escalated at the end of this
Yeah,
thing.
that's definitely like.
Light.
That's how I do it.
Yeah, I
And
could
he
hear
took
him
down a-
sweating. He was so upset.
Yeah.
It's just a heart attack.
To all of our listeners in Great Britain, fuck Greg. We love you.
Yeah, we don't like
It's
Greg.
really, it's about wonder.
I like
There's
fish
some
and
sense of wonder, right?
Yeah, so why are they trying to dash it?
Yeah, I agree with you on that point.
Yeah, thank you, Darren. And he's scientific.
Pseudoscientific.
Pseudoscientific, obviously, because he likes wonder. All right, guys. As long as there are no objections, it's time for last call. Everyone get your shot. Darren, you have a shot? We need a little bit more whiskey over here. Wait, don't do it yet.
Oh, all right, waiting on the whistle
We
pig.
do have a little bit.
I'm good.
Are you going to shoot that? Okay, hold on a second. Just pouring the whiskey in the cup. Just so you listeners at home know what's going on.
Pour. Ice crickle.
If you watch the video, you'll see him pour it, and it's very, very riveting. So, cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys. All right.
So good.
So, guys, here's to all. Well, shit, we already drank it, but
Yeah, we did.
Here's my toast. Here's to all the sorry motherfuckers who self-ignited and have caused a lasting stir surrounding their mysterious demise. May we never learn the whole truth, and may the four of us die in a similar fashion.
Wait a minute. Wait
Not
a
a bad way
minute.
to go.
Hey, it doesn't have to happen right now.
It sounds like an absolutely awful way to go.
It does.
Maybe the worst way to go.
I don't think so. I think
Burning up?
It's probably like falling asleep.
It's not like being, when you're burned from outside, that sounds horrific. But from inside, you probably go pretty fast, right?
Yeah.
I think the worst way to die is you're in an ocean and you're swimming and you're just getting more tired and you know you're going to drown. And then there's a boat that comes to pick you up and save you. And as they're pulling you out of the water, a shark bites you in half. I feel like that's the worst way to die.
It's very specific, John.
So you mean you feel like you're never getting out of this situation?
Right. You have accepted
and then
your own
you've
death.
got hope.
Right.
Hope.
Yes.
You've got hope, but then the hope is dashed by a
Like
shark.
not only hope, like you're getting pulled out of the water. You have hope and joy and elation, and then bam.
I can think of a better way. So you're swimming in the ocean, right? And you're about to drown, and a boat comes along, and the boat's coming, and a shark sees you, and it bites you in half. But just as it's biting you in half, a killer whale comes and bites that shark in half. So it was a completely unnecessary murder by that shark.
John, the issue with what you said is that you probably die like pretty quickly, so you're not even conscious of the kind of irony of the whole thing, right?
Oh,
you'd
well.
want it to be a slower thing where you're conscious of what happened.
A very
right?
old shark with about a third of its
There you
teeth
go. That works.
bites into you.
So he's just gumming you to death.
He performs cunnilingus on you.
Right
now the only way
after he licked
come
Greg's
from-
asshole.
And that's the only.
And on that note, Darren, thank you so much for joining us.
Why are you ending the episode?
I'm ending the episode because you're not gonna stop, and I'm putting our listeners out of their misery.
All right. Well, whatever, Kevin. I told you Kevin controls everything.
Yes, he does.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks for listening.